Hey there, and welcome to my weekly reflection corner. I have been reflecting on the week back, extrapolating beautiful insights, experiences, and things that have happened. And it's always overwhelmingly a lot. When I put pen to paper and begin to write, I'm always overwhelmed by the vastness of my experiences. And also fascinating how a lot of the times we'd be like, oh, how's your week? And the natural response is, oh yeah, it was good, it was okay, whatever, it's like the week seems like few minutes. You don't even remember the details of it. And how can you when the mind is always filtering out for unnecessary information? So it really takes a conscious action to be present with the past and the memories and the insights. Because if we don't nurture the memories, they just fade. So self-reflection is a beautiful practice that I've been cultivating for a while now. And it's fascinating how much we forget. And every time I go back to review my journal, I'm like, wow, this happened, this happened, this happened. And that's why it feels overwhelming, because there's so much. And this week I don't want to, but this past week has been, now I stumbled upon my words and I'm like, should I stop and record this again? This past week has been very tender and intimate for me, being with me and being with myself, being with my art, being with my thoughts, being with my body. This past week has been removing the stimulants, removing coffee, which has been my push and pull for a lifetime, not a lifetime, past couple of years. Removing even tea because it's quite stimulating, and really reconnecting back to my body, to my health, and being with myself without stimulants, being with myself in these ups and downs of high energy, low energy, and holding myself through that. And it might sound a little bit, I don't know what it sounds to you, but connecting with my art, with my artist inside of me, writing a lot, speaking a lot, sharing a lot, and touching this very vulnerable place, this very tender place, and allowing space for that to be. For that to be okay. And I don't know where I'm going with this. Part of me is like, why not? Why not keep recording and having myself be experienced in my mess, instead of stopping, cutting, restarting? Why not? Because it doesn't fit the standard, it doesn't fit the normal. And the funny thing is that I'm not the one who wants to fit in. I want to fit out. Square peg, or however the saying goes. And then part of me is like, if I be me and be unconventional, would people still connect with me? Would I still be loved and felt and heard? But the thing is, with art, and this is a form of art as well, recording this, with art, you create for yourself first and foremost. You don't create with people in mind, with the world in mind, because then your art is skewed. And I was listening to Rai X podcast, and he was talking about his music and his art, and that really inspired me to tap into my own inner tenderness, vulnerability, my inner artist, and reflect how I am creating and become aware of where I am creating for myself and where I'm creating for others. And it's this fascinating thing, whenever we create for ourselves, my thoughts are a bit scattered. When we create with no outcome in mind, no person in mind, cut. Imagine. Maybe I'll hire someone to edit these for me, but till then, enjoy the raw moments in between. Creating for others versus creating for yourself, having your art be an expression of you as opposed to being an expression of what the world wants of you or what you seemingly perceive that the world wants from you. Like, how can you potentially know based on just watching what others are doing, based on watching what people are responding to? And it feels to me like those who really stick to the truest essence of who they are, expressing that rawness, vulnerability, and staying in the lane of who they are the ones who actually stand out in this life, in this world. And the game is not to stand out, but the game is to really be unique and be you. And that means, in the simplest of forms, being you. And that may sound paradoxical, and that may sound like, oh, but me, who am I? What do I have to bring to the table? It's so refreshing to be with someone who is so unapologetically them, because it's so rare these days to meet someone in that space, in their heart, in their truest self-expression, that when you meet that person, that's all you want. You just want to be in their presence and be in their truth. And that's where we're so magnetized to these people, because we sense who we want to be in them, and that what makes us follow them, because we admire their truth and their rawness and openness, because this is what we secretly admire. And my mission in this world and in this lifetime is to be so me that everyone else can be so them. And it sounds so simple, yet it's the journey. It's and we're so far from that. When I look at media and when I look at people on the streets, everywhere around, there's so much superficiality, and we're so brainwashed to think that this is the norm and this is how to fit in. Women injecting things into their bodies and they're all looking the same, and I just want to grieve. Like, I want to cry. I want to, yeah, I guess I just feel sorry. Where the world is becoming just a copy paste of what's trendy. And that's surface level, and I'm not interested in surface level. I want to go deep. I want to go to the essence, to the core of everyone's beautiful and unique self-expression, which we all have, which we all are. It's just hiding or being covered with this illusion of the ideal. So my job in this life is to show up in my truest, rawest, and most authentic self-expression, so that through me being me, you can be you and express more of who you are. And that's so simple, it seems. And I'm repeating myself. Yet, it's so fucking complex and complicated. So many layers to peel off, both literally and metaphorically speaking. I think I will stop there. There's so many things I would love to explore and extend upon, and yet whatever comes, and I will allow it to be, and to be perfect, and to be raw and real and vulnerable and ugly. And what is ugly? What is ugly? I think we're so disconnected from ugly. We're very disconnected from ugly. And one of my journeys, and I think one of our journeys as a collective, to really reconnect with those parts of ourselves that we deem ugly and sick and distorted, and we reject, basically, to experience the wholeness of who we are and to accept others for who they are, because the more we can tap into and accept our own imperfection, the more we can accept the imperfection in the world. World is just one big imperfection dancing in paradoxes. This is it. Can I stop here? Yes, I can. Anyway, there you go. Raw, unedited, unfiltered, of service in your self-expression, being who you are and being okay, and being more than okay, and loving yourself in the rawest and truest and most ugly and messy and wild and free. Oh, bring it on, all spectrum of the rainbow. Don't give me 3 or 5 colors. I want to experience all of you. Oh, fit out. Be different. Being different is actually a compliment in the world of copy-paste. So that's my invitation, as usual, to be you, to be expressed, to be empowered by your quirks, by your everything. By your everything. Be inspired by who you are, because you're amazing, you are unique, you are gifted. Your voice matters, your art matters, your expression matters. So go out and be you. I love you. And it's been a pleasure to be with you and to be experienced by you and to be loved by you. And I'll see you next week.